This is a breaking weather alert. A tornado warning has been issued for portions of Colleton County until 6:45 with a radar confirmed tornado on the ground in Hampton County. This storm is moving to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. It's this particular thunderstorm right here that we're tracking, and we'll put a track on it for you and show you where this is going. Again, it's moving to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. If it stays on its current track, this is going to be near Speaks Mill at about 6:21, Ruffin at 6:51, Walterboro at 6:56. So again, it's a little bit right now away from Walterboro. You've got a little ways to go, but this warning goes through 6:45. Again, that is a tornado warning for portions of Colleton County this morning. So what we're going to do is zoom in on this particular storm, because this is the one that we're watching right here just to the southwest of Walterboro this morning. And radar is indicating a confirmed tornado from radar, and you can see it right there. That little debris ball is what we're watching. We'll zoom in a little bit closer here and show you that. Take the warnings off the display here, and that'll give you a better idea of what we're talking about. Again, there's the severe thunderstorm warning, or the tornado warning that we were talking about, and the radar is showing that particular spot right there just to the east of the still. This is on that is Highway 601 right there, where it looks like we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground. I'm going to zoom in even closer here with this and show you, because this is a yes, that is a tornado on the ground in Hampton County, and we're tracking this as it moves to the northeast near Speaks Mill. That is not in Colleton County, but the reason we're watching this morning is because this has the potential to move in to portions of Colleton County here in just a little bit from now. So that is a tornado warning through 6:45 for far western Colleton County, just to the west there of Walterboro, and that's the particular storm. We also have a couple of more of these along the line that we're going to be watching as this heads to the east over the next half hour or so. This is why we have the tornado watch in place. We've been under the tornado watch since about 3 o'clock this morning, and that gave us the heads up to go ahead and be preparing for the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms. And now we have what could be a damage-producing tornado on the ground moving it toward Colleton County. Now, it's not in your area just yet in Colleton County, but what you need to do is you need to be prepared for this and taking shelter now in the warned area. We do have a new warning that is coming in right now as well. Let me see where that one is located. That appears to be a severe thunderstorm warning. Yes, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that now includes all of western Dorchester County and includes much of Colleton County this morning. And that also does include Walterboro. That's through 7:15. But the main focus is this particular thunderstorm here to the east or to the west of Walterboro that appears to have a tornado on the ground with it. And what we're talking about when we're discussing how we know that there is a tornado on the ground, if you look at this area right here, that bright white spot, that is not rain near Speaks Mill. That is the radar detecting debris that has been picked up off of the ground and thrown into the atmosphere. And unfortunately, it looks like the Speaks Mill community did take a direct hit from this as it moves off to the northeast. So as we zoom back out here and put the radar into motion, we do want to show you the entire low country is under the tornado watch. But now that severe thunderstorm warning has extended east past I-95 with several tornado warnings to the west of I-95 as this line begins to head out. We're also noticing scattered showers beginning to develop and become a little more intense across parts of Berkeley County and Williamsburg County. And as we go through the morning, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on too, because we don't want anything to get out of hand out ahead of this line, because those would be able to really tap that wind energy that's in place and possibly spin up as well. But once again, our main focus is on this particular thunderstorm that appears to be producing a tornado right now in parts of Hampton County and moving toward parts of Colleton County. We're going to put a track on this for you once more, and this is the area of concern as it heads off to the northeast, and it could again have a tornado on the ground. If it holds together, this would be approaching Walterboro between 6:45 and 7 o'clock. Again, 6:45 to 7 o'clock, this would be approaching Walterboro if it holds together. For now, Walterboro, you are not in the tornado warning. I do want to stress that. You are not under the tornado warning at this point, but areas far west, Colleton County, west of I-95, you need to be keeping a close eye on this through 6:40. Again, that is for parts of Hampton and Colleton County with the threat of a tornado on the ground. Now, inside the severe thunderstorm warning area, as we zoom out just a little bit and show you what we're dealing with here, this is the area that we're watching too for the possibility of destructive straight line winds. Winds gusts inside this severe thunderstorm warning could reach 60 to 70 miles per hour. We're also looking at the potential for some penny-sized hail with that, and that includes western portions of Dorchester County as well as western and central portions of Colleton County. But once again, our main concern right now is on this supercell thunderstorm that appears to be producing a tornado based off of everything that we're seeing right now from the National Weather Service. It appears there is a tornado on the ground right now in parts of Hampton County doing damage. This is east of Speaks Mill, headed toward Highway 278. Next in line in Hampton County would be the Cummings to Almeda area. It's still a ways out from Colleton County, but we do want to go ahead and give you a heads up. This thing is screaming to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour right now. We'll put another track on it. This we know is the tornado is located right there, and as it heads to the northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. These are the towns that would be in the path of that. Williams and Kennedy's would be in that between 6:45 and 7, and that would also pose a possible threat to Walterboro, although it looks like based off of the latest radar data, if the tornado, which is located to the south of Hampton right there, does hold together, it would probably pass just to the north of Walterboro. It's something we're going to be keeping a very close eye on, but it does look like, based off of what we see right now on Storm Team 2 radar and what the National Weather Service is seeing, that we do have a tornado on the ground with this particular storm in Hampton County, and the signature on it is very, very clear on radar. You don't see this very often. Whenever you see that little ball right there of those bright colors, that means the radar is detecting something other than rain or hail. It's detecting things from the ground, and that's why that tornado warning has been issued for those areas out to the west. We also have the severe thunderstorm warning that is in place for much of western Dorchester County and western Colleton County. As this entire line tracks to the east, it will be capable of producing wind damage and, again, embedded tornadoes along that line. But again, of most concern right now is this area to the west of Colleton County that has prompted the tornado warning for parts of Colleton County to the west of Walterboro, as it does appear that this storm is producing a tornado. And as we look at the velocity images here on Storm Team 2 radar, what this does is this allows us to see how the wind is behaving inside the thunderstorm. Whenever you get the red like that, close to the green, that is an indication of twisting of wind inside the thunderstorm. And then right in this area here, particularly intense signature for a tornado. And we are seeing that confirmed on Storm Team 2 radar at this point in time. So that's why we do have that tornado warning, which is in place for parts of Colleton County. Tons of lightning with this too. In fact, just got a report from a viewer that the thunder is starting to be heard now in Colleton County near Walterboro, and that's thanks to this supercell thunderstorm that is over Hampton County, just now crossing Highway 278. And with that in mind, we will put another storm track on it for you as it continues to move to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. If it holds together, this will be in the Williams area by around 6:51. It would be in the Snyder's Crossroads area around 643, Kennedy's at 702. And again, if it holds together, it could pose a threat into parts of Dorchester County as well. But Dorchester County, you're already under a severe thunderstorm warning thanks to this right now. And we do have tornado warnings ongoing too for Orangeburg County from St. Matthews down to Orangeburg and Santee. And then that other tornado warning that is in place right there for parts of Colleton County. We are getting a new update here in from the National Weather Service. Let's see what that is. That is the update on the tornado warning just coming down. It appears that a confirmed tornado is on the ground. This is from the National Weather Service, and it is this storm that we're watching to the southwest of Walterboro. Based off of the latest path on this, it should head just to the northwest of Walterboro, but will be moving into Colleton County here shortly. The tornado was located over Almeda intersection in Hampton County, moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So if you are in Colleton County right now, I would go ahead and start my tornado safety precautions. Here's what you need to do. Seek shelter on the lowest level, the interior room of your home. Abandon mobile homes and vehicles and go to a sturdier building. Make sure to protect yourself, and you're covered with pillows and blankets, and stay away from windows and doors. Again, that is a tornado warning for parts of Colleton County. We're going to reset and go back to Storm Team 2 radar and show you this particular thunderstorm that we're watching right now that does appear to be producing a tornado based off of what we're seeing from the National Weather Service on the ground. And Storm Team 2 radar is showing an area of concern here that would likely be debris suspended in the air from a tornado on the ground in that particular area crossing highway, this would be Highway 68, South Carolina 68, between Almeda and Cummings down in parts of Hampton County. And then that is going to be moving, that will be moving up north into parts of Colleton County. So in Colleton County, the communities that we need to be watching right now are along Highway 63 between Highway 21 and the Hampton County line. That would be Toby's Bluff over to Snyder's Crossroads. Again, this does not include Walterboro at this time, but that is something we're going to be keeping a very close eye on, as Storm Team 2 radar is showing a clear signature of possible debris as a tornado is likely doing damage right here in parts of lower or in upper Hampton County, possibly headed into western Colleton County. So while we're on this, I do want to come back and show you the storm track one more time as this tracks to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. If this particular storm does hold together, it would be approaching Kennedy's and Stokes within the next 15 to 20 minutes. And again, if it moves far enough north and can make it into Dorchester County, you may have an issue as well in St. George shortly around 7:06. And that's something we're going to be keeping a close eye on for you here as we head through the next little while. But that's what we have, a tornado warning, potentially a tornado on the ground right now to the west of Walterboro. It will most likely miss Walterboro, but it is something we need to keep a very close eye on as it continues to track to the northeast. As we look at Storm Team 2 radar in motion, there's that powerful line of thunderstorms we've been watching all night long. It's had a history of producing damage back across Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and now it's moving into South Carolina with severe thunderstorm warnings in place for Dorchester County, inland Colleton County, right along high of I-95, and then there's that one tornado warning that we're watching right there in Hampton County and impacting parts of Colleton County. We'll stop the radar and we'll show you the area of concern. If you look at the shape of this, you can see the air is moving in this way and circulating right here in what's called a hook echo. And on the top of that, or the very end of that hook echo, there is a debris ball indicated by Storm Team 2 radar, which means, remember, radar's gotten a little bit different here over the past few years. What's called dual polarization. We can actually detect the shapes of things falling through the atmosphere. And when you get a signature like this, it lets us know that something other than rain and hail is there, and most likely it is debris that is being picked up from the ground as the tornado is moving off to the northeast. Again, Walterboro, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. I would go ahead and be taking my tornado safety procedures, though, in Colleton County, just in case it's needed. And what we'll do is we'll throw those back up on the screen for you here this morning, so you know what to do in case you're questioning that inside the tornado warning area. I would go to the lowest level of my home, away from doors and windows, and make sure that you're protecting yourself. Cover yourself with pillows and blankets and stay away from windows and doors if you are inside that tornado warning. And the bottom line, once again, on that tornado warning, that does include far western portions of Colleton County, thanks to this severe thunderstorm, which according to the National Weather Service is producing a tornado. It's confirmed by radar based off of debris signatures with that. So once again, tornado warning in place for far western Colleton County. That goes through 6:45 this morning. We'll put a track on this for you so you have an idea of what we're talking about as this heads to the northeast very rapidly. These storms are moving quickly this morning at about 55 miles per hour. This is the one that we're watching, and again, it is headed northeast at about 55 miles per hour across parts of Colleton County. So make sure that if your town is listed or your community, you're paying very close attention to this, because based off of what we're seeing on Storm Team 2 radar, it appears there is a tornado on the ground in Hampton County about to cross into Colleton County. Snyder's Crossroads at 6:40, Benton's Mill School at around 6:43. This is going to be around Stokes at 6:50 and Maple Cane School at 7:03. It may miss Walterboro just to the north if it holds together, but we don't want to completely clear Walterboro just yet. And I would not be surprised if a new tornado warning is being issued as we speak, probably being drawn up by the National Weather Service, as it does appear the area that we're watching in Hampton County, which could be a tornado still on the ground doing damage, is about to cross into Colleton County. I'm checking with the National Weather Service now to see what they are doing. We don't have anything yet on a new warning, so we're going to continue to follow this one as it's in place through 6:45. As Storm Team 2 radar is showing a very well-defined circulation on this particular thunderstorm as it slides into Colleton County. We're getting a new update on the radar. The scan's coming in now, and it looks like if there is a tornado on the ground, it is now crossing into Colleton County. So let's zoom in on this and show you the area we're talking about right now. This is to the southwest of Walterboro. Right now, Walterboro, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, which means you need to be prepared for wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour and large hail, but you are under a tornado warning or a tornado watch, which means conditions are favorable for the development of tornadoes. As this particular tornado producing thunderstorm moves into Colleton County, let's put a track on it and show you what to expect. Again, it is headed to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. And if it holds together, these are the communities it will impact. Snyder's Crossroads at 6:42. Hudson's Mill, you need to be prepared for this as well, as it could be knocking on your door at 6:46. This could be near Walterboro at 6:54 and the Low Countries Regional Airport at 6:56. Then moving farther northeast up into Dorchester County. Again, if it holds together, Ridgeville, this could be knocking on your door at about 7:21 this morning. And that is the latest storm track on this, what is expected by the National Weather Service to be a tornado on the ground. And there's the new warning. Tornado warning just issued now for Colleton County, and that does include Walterboro. Let's get the latest on this one. This goes through 7:15. That is for central Colleton County, stretching from Canadas to Walterboro. If you are in Walterboro, you need to go to your safe place now. Remember, the thing to do with this when we're talking about a tornado warning is to put as many walls between you and the outdoors as possible. Go to the lowest level of your home, staying away from doors and windows. Make sure you cover yourself with pillows and blankets. Great places to be in a tornado warning. That would include your closet on the lowest level of your home. Make sure it's an interior closet. Under staircases, we found through research that those hold up very nicely in these particular situations. Bathrooms, interior bathrooms, also perform very well as well, as the pipes and the structural integrity of those walls tends to hold up a little bit better. So if you are in Walterboro right now, you need to be seeking shelter as a tornado warning is in place. And based off of what we're seeing from the National Weather Service, it appears there is a tornado on the ground. We saw that confirmed by radar and debris flying through the air picked up on radar about 20 minutes ago in Hampton County. So there's your tornado warning that is in place for Colleton County. The National Weather Service is saying this is moving. Now it's shifted a little bit to the east. It's not moving northeast. Radar is now showing the storm motion has moved a little bit east, and that could tell us a couple of things. That means that the storm structure itself may actually be collapsing. And if that's the case, that's going to push intense straight line winds out across Colleton County as this heads toward Walterboro. So either way, let's say the circulation is disrupted just a little bit. The wind that's going to come out of this will produce the possibility of significant wind damage. But you can see the radar signature here is still one that suggests a tornado is either on the ground, or if it's not, it is very likely. We'll put a track on it based off of the newest radar estimates here. The newest radar estimates on motion are to the east at about 50 miles per hour. It'll be actually slightly north of east. So we'll redo that, and we'll tell you where this is going as it heads to the northeast. It looks like it's going to come very close to Walterboro at this point. So if you're in Walterboro, go ahead and move to your safe place. If it does arrive in Walterboro, it will be there shortly. So these are the latest town arrivals that we have based off of the estimates here from Storm Team 2 radar. Near Walterboro within about 15 minutes. So at 6:54, this is going to be near Walterboro around the Colleton Medical Center at about 6:55. Low Country Regional Airport at 6:56. So a minute or two either side of 6:55. This could be moving into the heart of Walterboro as it heads to the east-northeast at about 55 miles per hour. If it holds together, this could threaten Cottageville as well as Givens and parts of Somerville County, or parts of Somerville and into Dorchester County, and even the Jedburgh area. But again, that's a ways out. When we're talking about severe weather, these things are constantly changing, so that may not quite be the same. It may not quite be in the same form once it gets there. We're just kind of letting you know an early heads up if this develops. But our main focus here is Walterboro proper, Walterboro, Colleton Medical Center, and the Low Country Regional Airport around 6:55. That would be in about 10 to 15 minutes from now. So if you are in the tornado warning area, this is what we need you to do. Go ahead and move to your safe place now as we go through the morning hours. Remember to seek shelter when the tornado warnings are issued. The lowest level, interior room, abandon mobile homes and vehicles, and seek a sturdier shelter. Make sure that you're covering yourself with pillows and blankets, and stay away from windows and doors as we head through this period of time. Again, that is 7:15 for Colleton County. Tornado warning is in place, and that includes Walterboro. Now, what we're noticing on radar, a couple of things here that I do want to point out. The circulation with this is not as well defined as it was, let's say 30 minutes ago when we had a debris signature on it. That debris signature has gone away. Now that doesn't mean that the storm will not re-intensify, and the reason for that is because we still have a fairly well-defined circulation couplet here. But what I'm noticing on the radar is that we're starting to notice this, what we call collapse, flank out a little bit. And that's going to push intense wind out ahead of the storm, and that's what could hit you in Walterboro. So you may see some wind damage, but it might not necessarily be a tornadic wind. It could be straight line wind as the circulation begins to behave a little differently. I'm not saying that's completely what's going to happen, but it is something to at least keep an eye on, and it's something that we're watching on Storm Team 2 radar very, very carefully. So with that in mind, we can kind of take the precipitation off and show you what the winds are doing inside the thunderstorm, and that's how we know how these are behaving and if they're indeed capable of producing tornadoes, or if this is more of a straight line wind threat. And right now what we're seeing are signatures of both. Tons of lightning with this too. Hundreds of lightning strikes within this severe thunderstorm and tornado warning box. And there's the tornado or potential tornado just to the west of Walterboro right there. That little kink in the line that I just circled, that's the one we're watching. So we're going to zoom out just a little bit and put a new track on this for you so you know what to expect as this heads off to the northeast or east-northeast at about 55 miles per hour is the estimated forward motion on this. And that means if it does hold together, there is a risk of a tornado threat in Walterboro here between now and about 6:55. That would move over toward Driggers Crossroads, Cottageville, Holly Ridge, Ridgeville. If it holds together into Dorchester County, it would be a threat between 7:15 and 7:30 for Ridgeville and Somerville. And let's assume that it holds together as well to Ladson and Moncks Corner. This is about an hour out from you if it were to hold together. But based off of what we're seeing right now, it seems like the rotation may be coming down just a little bit, and this is going to transition into a straight line wind damage threat as it moves to the east. But again, a fairly significant signature here showing up on Storm Team 2 radar, and it is getting very, very close to Walterboro right now, which is under a tornado warning. So if you are looking at where we are right now, this is the area of concern just to the south of Hudson's Mill, just to the west of Walterboro as the storm is moving to the east-northeast. And we'll put one more track on this just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Walterboro, if you're watching me right now, you should be in your safe place as this storm is headed off to the east-northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So there's our track once again. Walterboro, we are expecting you to see the worst weather between now and about 6:55. So you need to be in your safe place right now in Walterboro, near Low Country Regional, Drigger Crossroads as well. Cottageville, I'd go ahead and move my family to my safe place as well until this storm passes. It's about 20 minutes out from you. Don't wait for it to get on top of you because these storms are moving at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. And occasionally they will move forward in motion. They'll accelerate a little bit. And we've seen a couple of these in Georgia go from a 45 to 55 mile per hour forward motion to about 70 or 75 miles per hour. So make sure that you're aware of that. This could come up on you a little bit quicker than advertised. So go ahead and move to your safe spaces now in Walterboro, Low Country Regional Airport. If you're in one of those neighborhoods there, make sure you're in your safe spot. Then eventually toward Drigger Crossroads and Cottageville. If the circulation holds together, this would move up toward Coachman's Corner, Somerville and the Dorchester County Area Airport, Jedburgh and Somerville eventually. Looks like we're getting a new warning coming down too. Let's see where this is. This is an update on that tornado warning that we're just talking about. So let's see what the National Weather Service has from their information here. A confirmed tornado was located near Walterboro, moving east at 55 miles per hour. This is being confirmed by radar, and we are still showing signatures here that is the case. We're also showing an increasing threat for wind damage to the south of the circulation that may not necessarily be related to the tornado itself. So just because the tornado or the possible tornado does not impact your direct area, we are seeing an increasing threat for wind damage on the south side of this, south of Walterboro down toward Hendersonville. As that moves to the east, next up would be Drawdy and Ashpoo areas, then eventually toward Cottageville. The strongest circulation should pass to the south of you in Kennedy's, but we are very concerned right now about Walterboro. And here's what you need to be doing if you're in Walterboro right now. You need to be seeking shelter. That's on the lowest level of your home in an interior room, away from doors and windows. Make sure you're covering yourself with pillows and blankets. If you are in a home, some of the places to look at if you haven't thought about this yet, underneath a staircase is a great place to be. Interior closets like a coat closet or a hallway closet is perfect. A hallway is also a nice place to be. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Also, interior bathrooms are great because we found in research that the pipes that are in place in those bathroom walls help to hold those structures up. And again, we are talking about what is being confirmed by National Weather Service as a tornado on the ground. This is not something that when we would say a tornado is possible. We are being told by the National Weather Service this is a confirmed tornado, and we saw that earlier as this was moving through parts of Hampton County by the intense signature on radar. Now, one thing that we're noticing, if I want to zoom out here and show you something, you can see our radar site is located down here to the southwest of Hendersonville. Well, what's happening right now, the very heavy rain is actually blocking the signal from the radar. So it looks like this is weakening just a bit. The rain rates are coming down. That's not the case. The line of storms is not weakening. What's happening is the radar signal is being blocked by very heavy rain, and the National Weather Service just sent out an update on that too, confirming that thought. So as that line moves past the radar site, the intensity levels that are displayed here will start to come up again, and that's why we don't want to lose track of this for you in Colleton County, where it looks like in Walterboro, the threat of a tornado is quite high right now. We do have a tornado warning is in place for Colleton County. Let's zoom out just a little bit here and we'll put a track on it with the latest update on the radar from its current position, which is near Walterboro right now. And as it heads to the east, slightly north of east at about 55 miles per hour, this is where it has the threat of getting really nasty. If it's not bad where you are right now in Walterboro, it will be shortly. It's 6:54 this morning. That is the expected arrival time. That would be right in the center city of Walterboro. Low Country Regional Airport around 6:56, then eventually moving toward Drigger Crossroads at 7:06 to Cottageville, Coachman's Corners at 7:19, and then Jedburgh, Somerville, Grove Hall. If it holds together, it would be a threat closer to 7:30, but our main focus right now is Walterboro, Low Country Regional, and Drigger's Crossroads area here in the next 10 minutes. If you're not in your safe place, it's probably a good idea to be there right now. So with that being said, we're going to zoom in just a little bit here and show you where we think the worst of the weather is occurring. It looks like this is crossing I-95 right now. So the west side of Walterboro there near I-95. If you're not in your safe place, this is essentially right on top of you, and you need to be there now, as the National Weather Service is saying this is a confirmed tornado. We haven't had any reports from storm spotters of that yet, but our radar is showing things in the air that is consistent with debris, meaning that there is likely something on the ground and doing damage in this particular area, and that's why we have that tornado warning in place for central parts of Colleton County. That would eventually track right up Highway 17 or Highway 17A toward Drigger Crossroads. That's your next in line. Walterboro now. Next up would be Drigger Crossroads, then eventually over toward Colleton County here as we move through the next little while. So with that being said, let's once again reset here. We'll zoom out, show you a couple of other things that are going on too, because we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for western Dorchester County and the rest of Colleton County back toward I-95 that's not in the tornado warning. And with this, we're seeing indications on radar that wind gusts could go 60 to 70 miles per hour as this line of strong to severe thunderstorms advances east across the low country. And there's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning just issued. That includes the entire Charleston metro as this line of thunderstorms has accelerated quickly. It looks like we were originally looking at this getting in here around 8 a.m. This is probably going to arrive a little bit sooner, as it appears the line is accelerating to the east fairly quickly. So let's talk about it here. This is the latest. A severe thunderstorm warning is in place through 7:45 for Berkeley, Charleston, Colleton, and Dorchester County. And we are seeing indications from Storm Team 2 radar that this will be capable of producing wind gusts at 70 miles per hour. The line, and this is something I talked about just a minute ago, could be accelerating quickly. And with this update, It is now moving east at 90 miles per hour. The line itself is moving east at 90. So that means this is going to be approaching the coast here very quickly. Let's get the track on it. So if you are in any of these communities, within the next hour, your weather is going to be going down very quickly. Sheldon at 6:58, Cross at 7:03, Somerville at 7:08, North Charleston at 7:20, Charleston at 7:24, and then off the coast of Georgetown potentially, or near Georgetown by 7:30. Unreal that this is moving close to 90 miles per hour. That tells you how much wind energy is in this. Just an hour ago, it was moving at about 55 to 60, and it has accelerated that much. So that's why the severe thunderstorm warning has been expanded to include all of Berkeley, all of Charleston, all of Dorchester, and all of Colleton County. We do have a new warning coming in right now. Let me see what that one is. As we reset here. That is an update on the tornado warning. That is an update on the tornado warning for Colleton County. So let's talk about that. This is a tornado emergency now. We have a tornado emergency issued for Walterboro as Storm Team 2 radar and the National Weather Service confirming a particularly dangerous situation with a tornado on the ground. It appears a tornado is on the ground in Walterboro right now. This is the area we're talking about. It is being detected by Storm Team 2 radar. I am going to put a special product on here that we call the correlation coefficient. And what this does is this shows us where debris may be in the atmosphere. And we see that right here on Storm Team 2 radar. There is a tornado on the ground in Walterboro right now on Storm Team 2 radar. You see all these bright colors here? That is the radar telling us that a tornado is on the ground and doing damage. It is detecting debris. If you are ahead of this, you need to be moving into your safe place now. It appears the tornado is on the ground right now near Walterboro. It appears it's moving through the western side of town. This would include Churchill Road, Ivanhoe Drive. It is now moving out of Walterboro through Walterboro on Highway 17A near Sydney's Road. This is also in advance of it would be Aspen Drive, Ridge Lane, Jasper Lane, Coolers Dairy Road. If you're in these areas, you need to be in your safe place now. Barricada Road, Barricada Street, headed up toward Driggers Crossroads. We are seeing intense signs on radar that a tornado is on the ground, and that would be right here to the east of Walterboro. If you are not in your safe place now, this is the time to do so, as a tornado emergency has been issued. Again, a tornado emergency has been issued for Colleton County. This is for Walterboro itself, as the National Weather Service is saying a confirmed large and destructive tornado was located over Walterboro, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So that is a tornado emergency now for Colleton County. I want to stress this one more time. This is not a tornado warning anymore. The National Weather Service has upped its language on this. This is a tornado emergency for Colleton County, and this is the area from Walterboro out toward Drigger Crossroads to Cottageville, because what we're seeing on Storm Team 2 radar, so I can show you what you're looking at here, whenever you see this signature, that right there with all those different colors, the bright whites, blues, greens, yellows, that's an indication on the radar that something is being thrown into the air that is not hail or not raindrops. That is actually debris. So unfortunately, this storm moved east just a little bit, and what it looked like hopefully would pass into rural areas. It appears, based off of what we're seeing by the National Weather Service, that Colleton County in Walterboro may have taken a direct hit from a tornado. This is not a good thing you want to see on radar. This is not good. We are seeing signs here that a dangerous tornado is on the ground right now near Driggers Crossroads. If you are in Driggers Crossroads, you need to be in your safe place now. Let's do a track on this. and show you what's going on as this continues to move to the east-northeast. Again, Colleton County right now under that tornado emergency. The storm has now moved out of Walterboro and is headed east-northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So heads up, Bethlehem School area at 7:03, Burr Hill at 7:03, Cottageville at 7:05. These are the three areas that are next in line as we do have, according to the National Weather Service, a confirmed tornado on the ground. It moved through Walterboro. If you're in Walterboro, please stay in your safe place until the storm passes. It looks like now, based off of what we're seeing on Storm Team 2 radar, that the worst of the weather may be over for Walterboro, but unfortunately it looks like the damage may have already been done with the possibility of a large tornado on the ground. According to the National Weather Service, this is right around Drigger Crossroad. That's the area we're watching now. As it appears, a tornado is on the ground. Whenever we see a signature like this on Storm Team 2 radar, you notice this area around it is all kind of one color, the reds and the purples. That means everything that's in that area, the radar is detecting the same type of object. Whenever you see something like this, it means the radar is detecting things of different shapes, sizes, and densities. And that is consistent with damage from a tornado. That's why we can track this and show you that we think there is a tornado on the ground near Drigger Crossroads. Next up, Roundo. If you are in Roundo, you need to be in your safe place now. If you haven't made it there, you need to do it now. This is where we are. Seek shelter on the lowest level of your home, an interior room, away from doors and windows. Make sure you're covered with pillows and blankets. Abandon mobile homes and vehicles if at all possible, and seek shelter inside a sturdy building, as we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now in Colleton County. Getting word from the National Weather Service, a new tornado warning is being drawn up now for downstream of the current tornado warning, and my hunch is this is going to include parts of Dorchester County and possibly Berkeley County. We're going to be watching that very carefully, but the signature here on Storm Team 2 radar is not a good one. This is such that we think there is a tornado still on the ground, and there's the new tornado warning that just came down here as this storm is essentially moving right along or just to the north of Highway 17A. If you are in Cottageville, Gloverville, Coachman's Corner, Holly Ridge, Givans, Ridgeville, and Jedburgh, you need to move to your safe place now, and probably a good idea to do that in Somerville as well, as it appears a large, potentially violent tornado is on the ground right now, according to the National Weather Service, and doing damage. We see the radar signatures. It is dark. It is very difficult for ground truth this time of morning, but the radar is showing information that is consistent with the possibility of a large tornado, if not likelihood of a large tornado on the ground. So with that being said, let's give you the latest here from the National Weather Service. This is what we're getting from them. A large tornado, potentially large tornado is what they're calling this, is on the ground right now and doing damage in eastern Colleton County. It appears that it moved through Walterboro here just a little while ago. This is a particularly dangerous situation, according to the National Weather Service, as a confirmed tornado is currently over Roundo and is moving east at 50 miles per hour, slightly north of east at 50. I'm going to go ahead and make this 55 just in case it decides to accelerate and you get a little bit of a heads up on this. Next in line would be Cottageville at 7:04. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, according to the National Weather Service. If you're in Cottageville, this is essentially on top of you now. This is going to be moving to Gettysville at 7:10, Coachman's Corner at 7:16. Next in line could be Somerville at 7:25. That would also include the Givans community, the Jedburgh communities as well. You need to be in your safe place right now. If it holds together, this would move toward Goose Creek by around 7:30 this morning. And again, according to the National Weather Service, we have what is confirmed as a tornado doing damage, and we can put our debris signature tracker on here, and I'll zoom on in and show you that area. We are still getting a signature consistent with a tornado on the ground around Roundo near Drigger Crossroads and Burr Hill. If you are in Cottageville, you need to be in your safe space now. Holly Ridge, you do as well as Givans, and eventually to Somerville and Ridgeville, as there is a real threat for a tornado. According to the National Weather Service, this is their direct language. A tornado warning has been issued, and this is a particularly dangerous situation. Again, this is the wording coming from the National Weather Service office in Charleston for this tornado warning through 7:30. They're saying you are in a life-threatening situation with flying debris, mobile homes. You need to abandon those, and considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely. This includes Somerville, Givens Ferry State Park, Ridgeville, Cottageville, Roundo, Givans, Jedburgh, and Knightsville. This also includes I-26 between mile markers 189 and 190, and that is a tornado warning for eastern Colleton County and parts of Dorchester County. We have a brand new warning coming in right now. Let's see what this is from the National Weather Service. This appears to be an update on the old one. So let's zoom out just a little bit and see where we are. That is indeed the case. That is an update on the old warning that is already in place. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, though.